Producers, Alec here at Performance Bodies with Joel. It's time for the 26J to get a new wrap. But before we're going to install a wrap, we put new MD3 plastic door and quarter on. You can see the panels down here, what they look like before, and you can see what they look like before a wrap's going to be installed. So I'm going to hand it over to Joel. He's going to talk about, how they trimmed it and then what they did to prep these panels.
Sure. So kind of like Alex said, you start with an oversized panel. We took our old aluminum panels, just laid them on top, was able to trim them, cut them with a shear really easy, and got them mounted up. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can go about prepping the panel before installing the wrap. Honestly, all I did was grab a piece of sandpaper. I have found about 120 grit seems to work the best. There's grinding wheels, a lot of different ways you can prep it, but just almost scuffing these panels up a little bit, kind of roughens it up, and then just follow it with a can of brake cleaner, some towels, wipe it down a couple times maybe, and then the final piece is this new 3M, the 94 primer. So we're gonna go ahead and prime the edges of this thing before we install the wrap, and hopefully that'll help it last and stick a little longer. So.
Perfect. Well, there you have it. Brian's going to come in a little bit later here and actually show putting that vinyl on and showing rubbing that 3M. So stay tuned to that and you'll get a little bit more in depth.
Okay, now that we got the new plastic doors and quarters on the car, we're going to go over a couple of different ways that we have found that you can take and apply the vinyl using the 3M tape primer, 94 tape primer. One of the ways that we have found is we actually put the wrap on the door and the quarter panel, peel it back about an inch, inch and a half, and the primer is pretty runny. You can use these little swabs you can get online or a brush or anything, and just apply about an inch or inch and a half wide all the way down the length of the door or the quarter. And we'll do that all the way around the whole perimeter of the door or the quarter, but it's important to let it dry before you lay the wrap over it. Once that dries, lay your wrap back over and press it down. The other way you can do it is if you're going to wrap over, just do the same thing but do it on the back side. Another thing you can do, if you're really good at getting the wrap on straight the first time, you could take and put the primer around the perimeter of the entire door or quarter, do the wheel well, do everything, and then put your wrap on it. I found that if you put the wrap on first, peel it back, gives you that little bit of forgiveness so you can peel it back off. But again, once you put that primer on here, let it dry, let it tack up, do its thing, and then put the wrap back on it. It sticks pretty well. I believe Joel had close to 20 races on this body that he had on the car, and other than just some light maintenance here and there and watching your corners, it stayed on pretty well. So now that the primer is dry, I'm just going to take a squeegee, take the wrap, just push it back over. Work it down. And then I'll do that same procedure all the way around, like I said, the top, the bottom, the wheel well, and the ends of it, and we'll do the same thing on the quarter.